Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Skeleton Key Turns. Of course, I always am your host, Gray, and joined as always by the lovely Christina. Today is conspiracy theories. That's right, all you conspiracy tinfoil hat wearing people. Wait, no, that's me too. Anyway, regardless, welcome aboard. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our podcast. We're also going to be going on YouTube very, very soon. Well, hopefully within the next month, but we'll get there eventually. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, you can hit us up on Facebook as well and let us know kind of what you're thinking, what you're not thinking, what's for dinner, what isn't for dinner, and what you had for dessert. Because, food, it's relevant or relevant, not irrelevant. It's relevant. Anyway,
Food.
food. Oh, I love food. So, yeah, like today, like I said, today is conspiracy theory day. Now, does this mean that we're part of a conspiracy theory? Absolutely, we are. We just haven't woke up from the dream yet. And I would tell you to wake up, but then you would turn over on the simulation, and then the simulation will like eat your head. And then actually, to start us out, I have something. Um, sorry, normally I know I'll let you go first, but I have to get this off my head, out of my head. Okay, so or what was it? Yeah, no, my 2021 was the last actual day in this plane of existence. We died in that year, and everything after that has been a kerfuckle. Tell me I'm wrong.
Interesting.
COVID. COVID
Why is
wasn't.
COVID, right?
Yeah, COVID wasn't COVID. No, no, no. COVID was death. But that's the one thing I have so far. So far, I have several
Mhm.
others, but I just had to get that one out of my head. It was gnawing at my brain.
So you think that that was just like a change? Like,
So I think it was a rift change, right? So like there is okay. So take the Mandela effect, right? Um,
yeah.
the
Actually, that was what I was gonna talk about.
Right. Okay. Well, damn. Well, I was going to say, take the Mandela effect, right? Tostino's pizza has never been Tostino's pizza. It has been Totino's pizza.
Absolutely.
Berens,
Absolutely.
the Berenstein Bears was never Berenstein. It's
Right.
Berenstein, right? Or Bearstein, not Baron. There was no Baron of it. It was Bearstein Bears. Um, what's another Mandela effect? Go ahead. Actually, sorry.
The Monopoly Man, right?
Uh huh.
So they said now I remember, see, I lived through this stuff, right?
Right.
So I remember him having a monocle, and they're saying he never had a monocle. Never had it, right?
He had a monocle.
Right. Yep. But they're saying that he didn't. Let's see. Star Wars is popular too. The whole Luke, I am your father. They're saying that never happened. He says, "No, I am your father." Fruit of the
Wait.
Loom.
Ooh, Fruit of the Loom. Now this is a cornucopia. The
Yes.
cornucopia never existed.
Right. That's what they're saying. Pikachu for Pokemon fans. Um, I remember him having a black tail, right? But they're saying he didn't have a black tail, like a black end on his tail. There was never that. It never happened. Curious George, did he have a tail or did he not have a tail? What do you remember?
He didn't have a tail.
Right. So that one they're saying he did not have a tail. I can't remember that one honestly. Shazam.
It exists.
Yeah, they're saying it doesn't.
It does. No, it does because okay, so Shazam existed right alongside what was that other movie with Ice Cube that had Ice Cube in it? There was Shazam and something else. Like they were the same movie, had the same box art
Mhm.
and everything. What was that
I don't
fucking
remember the
movie?
other movie.
Oh my god, it's gonna kill me until I find it out. My brain's gonna hurt. Anyway, go on with your Mandela effect.
So they're saying that we are all remembering things wrong, right? And that it's called memory distortion, where our minds fill in the blanks with fake memories. right? So, okay,
Okay.
I could see maybe me having fake memories about some stuff in my life and maybe you having some fake memories, but everybody, I don't know. So I watched this man on TikTok
Mm.
and he had a now I can't verify the legitimacy of this video, right? But he
Right.
had a safe with some items in it. He
Okay.
happened to pull out Fruit of the Loom with a tag on it that had the cornucopia,
Right.
the book with the proper spelling of the Berenstain Bears,
Okay.
Monopoly Man with his monocle, and
Yep.
a Shazam VHS tape.
Okay. So back to Shazam. It's Kazam
Yes.
is the direct copy of Shazam.
Gotcha.
Sorry. I just had to. So, okay. So he had the book, he had
Mhm.
the cornucopia tag, and he
Correct.
had Shazam. Now,
Yep. With
I can,
Sinbad.
right, as it should
Shazam
be.
with Sinbad. Right.
Yeah. Shazam is Sinbad. Kazam is Shaquille O'Neal.
Right.
Um, let's see here. God. So like okay, so okay, Monopoly Man. Wait a minute. Hold up. So the Monopoly Man. Okay. If you have a copy, and this is to anyone who's listening, if any of you have a copy of Monopoly that was produced in between night no between this first production up until 2001, the Monopoly Man does have a monocle because in the community chest, when you pull out a community chest and you see a Monopoly Man running with a bag of cash
Right.
to pay yourself $200 because of whatever luck from the community, he has the monocle.
Right.
Hmm, that is interesting.
It
That is
is.
interesting.
So, you know, us conspiracy people that believe in all that stuff, cuz conspiracy theories are just a couple years away from being conspiracy fact.
Right,
They're thinking that there's this like parallel universe thing or some sort of time shift like you were talking about, right? So we like
right.
moved into a different plane. Um so that's what people in our realm of thought are thinking. But that leads me to another thing about CERN.
Ooh, I do love CERN. I do love
Yes.
reading about
So
CERN.
you said what, 2021 was when things happened or 2020 when COVID happened? There's some evidence that states that it actually happened in 2012 when they
Okay.
fired up the CERN Hadron Collider.
Yeah, so the Large Hadron Collider, they created the God particle,
Right.
essentially. And actually, there's a book that it doesn't disprove what CERN did with the Hadron Collider. It only
Mhm.
backs up the claim that the God particle was created and then they lost it to a black hole.
Right.
However, that caused a time rift. And that time rift almost juxtaposed our solar system and what the Earth travels in rotation. It knocked it
Right.
out a few light years, or in our case, millennia. So it pushed us off axis almost.
Right. Right. Or
And-
maybe we went through into something else, right? Because how can all these people remember stuff? Like I remember things specifically and then
Right,
just be told, no, that's not what happened, right?
right,
So, I mean, they're saying that, like, scientists are saying that this is just not possible, right? We can't do this. This is not possible. That we have all these reactions that occur every day in our daily life, and the collider is less powerful than the reactions that are happening around us every day. Um, but many conspiracy theories often merge with quantum physics, right? So they're everything in quantum physics is theories and they're it's crazy stuff and they're proving it or proving the theories anyways to the best of their ability with equations and whatnot. But I mean, this could suggest that maybe small changes in particles, right? Like we did in the collider, like small changes in the particle weight could affect our reality. Like they're trying
Right.
to prove that. I mean, there's a lot of theories right now about the multi-universe theory or the multiverse theory and just crazy stuff that you can't even begin to wrap your head around. But what if, right? What if? But it gets weirder, right? So, there was a video made. Have you heard about the video they made in 2016 where there was a ritual around the god of Shiva that they
I
have? This
I
2 meter
haven't.
tall Shiva at CERN. Yeah. So there was supposedly rituals being done on the grounds of CERN to further, prove that some weird stuff was happening there. Um, but of course, CERN's official release statement says, no, this never happened. This is just, it's a hoax. It didn't happen. It's not possible.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So officially, they're saying that this Hindu deity Shiva, who is the symbolism of destruction and creation, right? So kind of
Yes.
fitting,
Yes.
kind of fitting. So they're saying that this represents the dance of subatomic particles in everyday life, which I mean it does, in the science realm, sure it does.
Yeah.
Um, you've watched Stranger Things, or have you watched Stranger Things?
A little bit.
Okay. So on the Chelsea Handler show, I'm just trying to prove the point here that weird stuff is happening. On the Chelsea Handler show, there was a gentleman named Ernest Moniz who
Hmm.
did on the show, and he was the undersecretary for the Department of Energy,
Okay.
right? So in the Stranger Things, it was that same department that was creating the upside down and all that stuff. So he actually said in an actual interview on this show that yes, the Department of Energy does work in parallel universes.
Hmm.
Just
Interesting.
saying. Just saying. I mean, the whole Montauk experiment and the Philadelphia experiment and all that, that's all having to do with different stuff like that. So I don't know.
Oh
It's pretty
yeah.
fascinating. I just love I could go on and on about this topic and how
So
it all
okay.
links together.
Right. Okay. So let me link you something else. All right.
Mhm.
So 9/11, one of the worst
Right.
tragedies to hit American soil. Right.
Absolutely. Mhm.
Okay. Now, two things. Number one, I believe it was the shadow government that orchestrated this because
Sure.
how okay, so tell me, it had to have been the shadow government because they would have had engineers that knew exactly how hot that steel was going to melt at, right?
Mhm.
And jet fuel doesn't melt steel. Jet fuel actually isn't that combustible until it hits another accelerant, right? It didn't have accelerants in the building unless it hit, which it did, it hit the gas pipes. But the only problem is with that type of accident, quote unquote, I don't think that there wasn't, I don't think there was, how do I say this? I'm going to change that. I think there was bombs on the plane. And I think that helped the accelerate jet fuel. And that was the jet fuel's accelerant, was the
Mhm.
bombs.
There's a
I
theory.
100,
There's a theory with
100%.
that.
Yeah. And then also, years before, years before 9/11 even happened, someone, and I don't know who it was, so I can't credit them, so I apologize. But there was speculation floating around that, of course, the all-seeing eye in the $1 bill,
Mhm. Illuminati.
uh, the Illuminati. But if you fold the $1 bill in a certain pattern, it
Mhm.
creates the twin towers with smoke.
Correct.
I think it was not only foretold by the government and the shadow
Mhm.
government, but I think it was printed out for us and prepared us to see what we were going to see.
like giving
Ah,
clues, little breadcrumbs,
little
foretelling what.
breadcrumbs. Yep. Along the way, like, oh, like, you fold the $1 bill this way. And then I think it's like you fold the $10 bill and it's the assassination of one of the presidents. Not of the president on the bill, but it's an assassination of a president.
I haven't
Um,
heard that one. I have done, where you can fold it a specific way and you mirror it and there's like a reptilian
yes,
on.
I've heard that one.
Yeah,
I've heard
I've
that
seen
one.
it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Um, you remember before 9/11 happened, there was actually someone attempted to do like a car bomb or something in the garage
Yes, that was back in the
several years. Yep,
90s.
yep.
That wasn't the Boston bomber. That was a different thing, but it was, yeah, I remember
Mhm.
hearing about it later on in school. Um, you know, actually, what was it? The year before, not so 2010, or 2010, sorry, 2000, in class we were taught about the Unabomber. That's who it was, the Unabomber.
Yeah,
So
Unabomber,
the
right.
yes, so the Unabomber was the one that tried to blow up the basement. And then we were taught that, but then we were also told that, like, of course, being West Virginia, you know, it was all part of God's great plan. Are you sure
Oh
about
my
that?
gosh,
Are
right.
you 99% sure about that? Because, like, I'm not so sure about that. I think it's a bunch of heresy, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, no, so like there's a whole conspiracy theory around that, and
Right,
it
so
dives
there definitely
so
is.
deep.
Absolutely. So there's a movie that I suggest anyone that's interested in this. It was made in 2004. It's a documentary and it was absolutely fascinating to me. It's called In Plain Sight.
Hmm.
And this movie focuses on footage that was shown, right, on TV one time only, but never shown again. And they do talk about the 9/11 World Trade Center, and actually, if when they slowed down some of the imaging and the whatnot, it appeared to be possible military planes.
Yes, they were
And
military planes.
then there was the theory that it actually shot missiles into the building
So that's
prior.
on, yeah. So that's
Yes.
actually the Pentagon. Okay, so
Well,
that's the
no.
Pentagon missile theory.
No, that's in addition to that. In
Oh,
addition, yes, it's in addition to that. So they're saying that it looks like they might have shot something into the buildings before it crashed, right? And then the Pentagon one in this movie that shows the evidence and they slow it down for you and everything, and you never see a plane go by. You never see a plane. You only see what looks like a missile that went into the building, and it takes you like deep into the construction of the building and how this should have happened and it did not happen.
hmm.
So they basically debunked it, which of course, I mean, people lost their lives and all that stuff. So I'm not saying that people did not lose their lives. They absolutely did. But the situation may not have been what was told to us.
Well, and see, I think that was a whole thing too, because remember, what was it, a few years prior? Was it a few years prior or was it a few years after that we killed Osama bin Laden?
Oh, it was after. Because
It
he
was
was the
after.
person who supposedly started the whole thing.
Right. So answer me this, right? Let's go to modern day now, right? And this is just modern day, right?
Mhm.
Iran has now threatened, and I know we're not a political channel, so please don't think we're political, but Iran has now threatened US soil to hit
Mhm.
universities. Okay. Prominent universities, Yale, UNC, uh, Texas Christian University,
Mhm.
major universities, right? But when Osama bin Laden carried out these threats, now we're going back in the past. Now, when Osama bin Laden carried out these threats, saying that we will strike on U.S. ground, I don't think it was him. And the only reason is, I think the only reason that it happened was to give the U.S. a reason to go and kill bin Laden. Now, yes, he was a terrorist of of sorts, of course. But like, I honestly don't think Bin Laden would have the compliance with his
Mhm.
people for them to board a plane. I honestly think it was U.S. Marshals.
So now, if you go on back in time, Osama bin Laden wasn't always a terrorist, right? So he
No,
was a freedom fighter and we funded them. We gave them
correct.
weapons,
Yep.
to fight against the oppression and all that stuff. So what happened? What happened that did that? What happened to make him turn on
Did
us, I guess you
yeah,
could say.
I mean, did he know something that we didn't at the time? Did he,
Right.
have intelligence briefing? It's like he could see what way the US was going and that fought against his morals and beliefs, right? So he's like, "Oh, well, if that's the case, then fuck the US. I'm going to bomb them and send a message." Right?
And if you
The
if you think about it too, like what, he lived in a cave for how many years? Like, and supposedly I heard like theories that he was on dialysis, he was not well, like all that time, and then really? Like, I don't know. I don't believe all of it. I just don't believe all
yeah.
of it.
Yeah. And on top of that too, the found footage, I call it found footage, but the found footage of the supposed when we raided his temple. No, that's Saddam Hussein. When we raided his cave, he looked perfectly healthy. He
Right.
didn't look like he was on dialysis. He didn't look like he had been living in a cave for X amount of years. He looked
Yeah.
fine, just
Right.
dead. But like, I
I
I
wanna
think,
know how. I know how we did it, right? Because I
right,
was an adult when 9/11 happened, right? So I know what
right.
happened and I know what I watched, but how did we end up from going after him to ending up in Iraq and all of that stuff with Saddam Hussein? Like, no,
Well, see,
no, it's
wasn't
too
wasn't
much.
Bin Laden fighting against Hussein for like a long time, and then he essentially joined forces. His people joined forces with Hussein, and then we took down Hussein.
Right. So I'm not sure about the joining forces, but I know like we ended up weapons of mass destruction was the reason, right? That we ended
Right.
up in Iraq. But um I don't know.
Yeah.
There's so
There's just
much.
a yeah. There's a weird correlation there. It's like
Right.
there's enough of a gap to where it's like you can't piece everything together, but you kind of can like maneuver around it to figure out exactly what happened. But that's besides the point. Anyway, listen, we're not a political channel. I promise.
We're
Um,
not, but it's conspiracy stuff, right? So
yeah, yeah.
it's
I'm trying
the
to.
shadow government. It leads all the way, circles back to the shadow government situation. Like
Oh,
maybe
absolutely.
the people who you think are in charge are not actually the ones in charge. They just are the people you think are in charge, or that's the people they want you to think are in charge.
Right?
So,
Yeah. No. Oh God. So another conspiracy theory, and this one is it took me a while to kind of try to like fully understand, but there was
mhm,
one that I wasn't 100% sure on, but now it's weird. So okay, so we all know about the moon landing, right? Some people say it was fake, some people say it was real, right?
right.
Now, along with the moon landing, okay, see here. Let me see. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. I should have already had this. Oh, here it is. The Apollo 17 mission was not the last moon mission.
Mhm.
They had a run in with aliens. And that's why they're saying that Apollo 17 was it. Apollo 17 just ended everything
Mhm.
because they had a run in with aliens and they brought them back. Those astronauts have never given an interview, not once. They can't talk. They're not allowed
Really?
to talk. That no, not once. I have not found one interview with an astronaut from the Apollo 17 mission. I found interviews with people who worked on the mission, like the ground
Mhm.
crews and scientists. I've found tons of interviews about them, but no actual astronaut has ever interviewed about the Apollo 17 mission. Not
Wow, I
one.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Didn't they have code name or something like Santa Claus if they saw UFOs when they were up there during the Apollo time?
Something something like that. Yeah, they did have some code written
Mhm.
into it. But yeah, no, I'm not 100% sure. But that's one thing that I thought about when it's like, the moon mission is, supposedly fake. I mean, yes, modern day, we can absolutely create the moon landing.
Right.
100%. We have the technology. But back then, they didn't have the technology to necessarily fake the moon landing, at least not to my knowledge. But no, that's not to say I could
Well,
be
they
completely
had
wrong.
Stanley Kubrick, though. I mean, he
Yeah.
was it's rumored that he is the one who actually created the moon landing, the fake moon landing, right? So, I mean, he was world-renowned, director, what have you, and they're saying that he's involved in this whole conspiracy too. And the footage, the actual raw footage that they had is now gone.
Hmm.
The evidence to prove it is supposedly gone.
I wonder if it's been
So,
locked in the Vatican.
ugh, the Vatican.
Oh, my favorite.
The Vatican. I actually just saw something about that the other day, how it was like the secret, whatever they called it, the secret something, and they changed the name because it sounded too mysterious. But you still can't just get in there to see the stuff they have, all
No.
their information and everything they have, their artifacts and whatnot. You can't just get in there.
Now, um, wasn't it rumored that the Vatican had the Ark of the Covenant,
Yeah,
the real Ark of the Covenant?
right. Yeah, it was.
But here's the thing though. According to, and we've all, I'm sure some of us and mostly all of us have read the Bible, or at least snippets of the Bible, or gotten
Sure.
curious about the Ark of the Covenant. In the
Mhm.
Bible, directly translated, I'm not going to say the actual KJV because it's too convoluted. But the direct translation would be, "No man of mortal flesh can touch the Ark of the Covenant, for
Right.
the angels that protect it have all seen power and know your sin." Right?
Mhm.
So how how did God say, supposedly, "Don't touch this, you'll fucking die"? And then here we
Right.
are at the Catholic Vatican. "Hey guys, guess what I got? I got the covenant." I'm sorry, what now? So
Right.
how
I
how do they have that
mean,
artifact? Because they can't touch it with mortal hands, according to the
and
Bible.
right, and I think Indiana Jones did a wonderful rendition of what exactly could happen if that everything is true.
Right. Yeah, and I'm leaving Indiana Jones out of this, but like, of course, Indiana Jones theatric, yeah, you'll melt your face off. But no,
Right.
the the whole what is it? The angels of the Bible, right? I
Right.
love how Americans have, not just Americans, religion, Catholicism,
Mhm.
ha- Christianity in general has depicted angels as these beautiful white robed, halo bearing, winged,
Mhm.
you know, cherubs
Like
almost like a
right,
cherub.
beautiful guardian, ethereal type. Yeah.
Yeah, very ethereal, right?
Right.
But if you look at the Bible, an actual angel looks like a fucking mech. It has eyes everywhere,
Mhm.
wings, it's shooting flames, and it's going grrr. It's very
Right.
protective of what its creator said protect. So
Right.
I don't think the Ark of the Covenant lies in the Vatican. I don't. I think the Ark of the Covenant has been lost to history.
I think I saw somewhere it's in like actually Ethiopia or something. I don't know. Maybe the Nazis actually did find it. Who knows?
I'm gonna look
Um
this up.
so yeah, I mean if you're going like literal Bible description, right? They kind of look like aliens, right?
They do. They do.
Angels. Hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
a real a real angel, according to the description of the Bible. Actually, there's a good place in the Bible that actually describes how an angel looks. Well, at least one type of angel. Um,
Mhm.
when God sent down the angel to protect someone, I forgot the person's name. It described it as a ball being with eyes all around that could see the sin of man, human, and insect, and of the world. It had wings of flame and fire to protect itself and those who inhabit around it. It would
Mhm.
then spin its eyes to see everything past the universe or past the world that this plane exists on.
Mm.
That's a scary motherfucker. I
Yeah,
don't need to meet an angel.
that's terrifying.
And that's what we get with Christianity. It's
Wow.
weird. It's weird. No, but so back to conspiracy theories. Okay, so so I got a tangent right there. The other conspiracy theory is one that I found rather, and it has been, I don't know if it's been disproven. The Titanic actually didn't sink. That wasn't the Titanic that hit the iceberg.
Really? I haven't
That
heard
was
this one.
not that was not the Titanic. That was a cousin ship of the Titanic. So
Mhm.
the ship that actually hit was the Olympic. Okay. That was the ship that killed 1,500 passengers. The Titanic actually did avoid the iceberg, supposedly, and was then at the time became the Queen Mary.
Hmm. I'm
The
looking it up now. Yeah.
the the
Um,
Queen Mary is supposedly the Titanic, but the
what
Olympic was
I'm
the one that killed.
right, what I'm reading is that they actually swapped them because the insurance money, like, it was like a scam by JP Morgan, who owned the
Of
White Star
course.
Line. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, and of course, I'm sure you've heard of flat earthers.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Earth is
Yes.
flat. No, it's not.
I have I've had some very dear friends in my life that actually do, which is fine. I mean, everyone can believe what they want, right? But it's just difficult to have those conversations sometimes. And I know
It
sometimes it's
is.
hard for people to talk to me when I'm all conspiracy like, oh no, they're the chemtrails and fluoride in the water and all that stuff. So I get it. Like I believe what I believe and that's it. But I don't know. I just don't believe that one. I believe a
You
lot of
can't.
stuff, but I don't believe
Yeah,
that one.
yeah. I don't believe flat earthing. I don't. I don't. Um.
What
Ooh.
about
Okay.
Antarctica?
Oh yeah, the secret base down in Antarctica,
Right.
the Nazis' base that they still say has active Nazis.
Right. So explain this to me though. Like we all hate each other, right? The world hates each other. We're always fighting with each other. No, everyone doesn't get along. But every single country, right, has agreed not to claim Antarctica. Like
Correct.
we all can get along over Antarctica, which I think is amazing, right? But why? What like people think that there's stuff hidden there.
Well, isn't Antarctica where the oh, what was it? It was done, I think, shortly after World War II. I think during the Cold War. Um,
Mhm.
Seeds. Apparently, like Antarctica has the base for like every seed known to man.
It's actually in the Arctic, not the Antarctica.
Arctic. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry,
Mhm.
getting it mixed up. But yeah, no, that's another interesting. I
That's
don't.
a real place. Yeah.
It is
They
a real
really
place.
do.
I don't like. How do you keep the seeds from germinating? I mean, if you keep them in a too dry of a place for too long, they're just going to rot.
Mm, I think the temperature mixed with maybe I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I
Yeah.
have to look into that, but it's pretty cool.
But yeah, so I don't see how the whole world can agree on Antarctica
Right.
not being anyone's land, but yet the Nazis
Right.
have a base there.
The New Swabia base, or base 211, is what they
Yeah,
called it. Yeah.
yeah, but base 211.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Nazis are always looking for relics, I guess, from early Christianity, and they're always looking for UFOs, supposedly, right?
Yep.
So, there's a lot of theories about the ice wall. We'll go back to the flat Earth thing. There's the ice wall, then Antarctica, that is, it surrounds the flat disk to prevent us from falling off. I don't know about that. Um, Openings to inner Earth down there. I think the
Ooh,
new
interesting.
Godzilla kind of led to that a little bit.
Earth is
Um,
hollow.
yeah, the hollow Earth theory. Yep. There's even stories about like Atlantis is down there, which I don't know about that one, but
Neither. Oh,
I would love to go there one day though.
oh, absolutely. 100%. God, what's another, like, I'm just trying to think, like, all the conspiracy theories that are, like, floating in my brain right now.
So
Um,
many
oh,
chemtrails
God.
that have actually been proven that they're actually doing that, called
Yep.
what is it, stratospheric aerosol injections. Yeah, government
Yep.
documents were released, but I was crazy for 15 years about chemtrails.
I mean, I believe chemtrails are 100% real.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Me too.
Um, oh, okay. So this kind of goes into the military
Mm-hmm.
side. The peanut butter shot. Have you ever heard of this?
I haven't heard. I mean, it
So,
sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. So tell me about
so
it.
a lot of people call it the peanut butter shot, and the reason is because it has the consistency of peanut butter when it
Mm.
gets injected into you, and it's shot into you at a high pressure with a high pressure hypodermic needle.
Uh-huh.
So the theory is some people in the military believe this, a majority don't, but some believe that the peanut butter shot actually has trace agents of Agent Orange, which of course
Mm,
was used in chemical warfare, and
right.
it has a tracker in it
The
that actually
tracker.
tracks military personnel even after their time of service. And the dog tags are absolutely useless.
Right. Um, okay, so I see this peanut butter shot. It's actually like a type of penicillin, basically.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So the tracking part of things. You've heard of like sleeper cells and all that stuff, right?
I believe sleeper cells are real 100%.
Yeah, like if you look at some Hollywood people, they're saying that they are actually sleeper cells type
Yep.
people
Sleeper
and being
agents
like, yeah, sorry. And
activated.
handlers, right? Like Britney Spears, for example, which I mean, I don't know.
Church of
Um,
Scientology, right?
yes.
Think of it. Church of Scientology, very secretive unless you're in it. Okay.
Right.
I believe that they are the handlers of the Hollywood elite sleeper agents. I think they woke Britney Spears up too early.
Uh-huh.
Either that or she became conscious.
Right. So, no offense to the Scientologists, because
No,
they
none.
believe in aliens and all that stuff, so that's cool, right? But
Yeah.
I used to work down there in Clearwater where basically Scientology has taken over everything. And these people, they all look the same. They're all dressed the same. They're kind of walking around. It seems to be like they're in a trance or, just very uniform anyways.
Right.
Everyone's doing the same thing because they go down there for their education and um the treatments that they do. And
Right.
the rich, I mean, I'm telling you, these buildings are absolutely gorgeous, but they're everywhere.
Hmm.
They're everywhere down there, and they all look the same. Now, I'm not sure if you were living down here at the time, maybe not, but there was a time period where someone was there going through their education, through the
Hmm.
religion, and they died.
Right.
They
What year was that?
I have to look it up. But they died. It was a young lady, and like she was ill because the treatments that they do can, take it out of you.
Right.
Um, and like they were saying, she wasn't given proper. 1995. It was
Oh no, yeah,
1995. Yeah.
definitely not.
She died from severe dehydration and a blood clot. So, um, she had a minor accident
Hmm.
and they didn't provide her with the care that she needed. A minor
Ooh.
traffic accident. And yeah, so they wanted her to go into a hospital to get some psychiatric treatment because Scientologists are a little different, right? Which it's okay.
Right.
But so they released her to Scientology staff members who took her to a hotel and she was supposed to rest to get better and she died 17 days later. Severely dehydrated. She did not have water for 5 to 10 days and she lost about 40 pounds according to what I'm reading right now. So criminal charges did come up for them. Like you can't obviously do that. The people there pay money and they're in their care.
Right.
And yeah, but they're interesting people. And they are very much in Hollywood. Very much
Oh,
so. And it's
absolutely.
only the elite. The regular people like me and you, to get to the levels like we could never do that because we're regular people. We just don't have that kind of money.
Right.
We just we just don't have that kind of money. So we would be like Miss Lisa McPherson.
Hmm.
But
Here's an interesting one that I just
mm,
came across from reading some. Prince Charles, which is is related to Vlad the Impaler.
I've heard that.
The the only reason is because Charles's bloodline was known to have the disease porphyria, which
Mhm.
is an iron deficiency that causes people to be sensitive to sunlight, and he is.
I've heard other people say that Prince William is the Antichrist.
Ooh, I've heard that one. Ooh, I've even heard what was it? Oh, there's a video of it too. And I don't know if it's a good deep fake as what people used to call it, but now it's of course AI.
Right.
Um, but
It's
what
so
was it? It
hard
was
to tell what's what now.
right, it was William and Kate, and they were standing on the palace grounds. They were
Mhm.
waving to everyone. I think it was shortly after they got married. And if you look at them, their heads are a little bit bigger and they have no movement in the eyes. And they're just
Mm.
turning their whole head. And then if you look behind them, Kate is actually standing behind them, but we see William and Kate in the foreground.
Mhm. Well, you know, that's another theory too is, she was unwell, right? She
Hmm.
had cancer. She was going through cancer treatments and stuff. And when she reemerged, people are saying that's not really her.
No, I don't think it is her. I actually don't think it's her. I think she died and they replaced her with a doppelganger.
Mm. Right.
I just because I don't think he's not a prince anymore, is he? Prince William?
He's still a prince because his dad's the king, but
Right.
it's his brother that's no longer
Yeah.
in the royal family. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my
That
God,
whole
Dobby.
situation. But
Dobby, I'm gonna put your
yeah.
toes on.
Poor Dobby.
For all our podcast listeners, please excuse my empty threats to my dog. I'm not actually going to rip their toes off. Um,
So
but yeah,
looking
no.
at this though,
Mhm.
looking at this about the Vlad the Impaler theory and all that stuff, it was through his great grandmother Mary of Teck.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Queen Mary was believed to also be descended from two of Vlad's sons.
Ooh. Wait, I thought
That's a
Vlad didn't
fact.
have kids.
I didn't think so either. Let's look.
I don't think Vlad had any children because wasn't his wife killed?
She was. I mean, if we go on like the Dracula story, but let's look at what really happened.
Oh, apparently he had three children. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, four children. Minia Il Sauro, or Minia the Bad, is the eldest
Mhm.
son from 1460s to 1510, born to his first wife of a mistress. He lived in exile and returned to reclaim the throne in 1508, but was eventually assassinated.
Mhm.
Mikria, another son, who disappears from historical records around 1483, reportedly serving the Catholic bishop of uh, Oradea. Of course,
Mhm.
Vlad Dracula, mentioned in some genealogies as a third son, who reportedly contested the Walshian throne in the 15th century. And then Maria Zaleska. Some accounts suggest a daughter who married a Neapolitan nobleman. Blah blah blah. Can't talk. So he had four kids,
That kind of
but the
blows
most
up the whole Dracula theory.
yeah, but the eldest was Minnie of the Bad. His children were primarily born from the first wife, name unknown, and potentially from a long-term mistress, Kath- Katharina Siegel. While his
Mhm.
second, so okay, from a long-term mistress, Katharina Siegel. While his second marriage to Iodina Selzgia was
Yep.
likely childless.
Mm. Well, the
Oh,
first wife is the one who jumped off the castle.
yes, and that's what sent him in mourning.
Right. And that's where the whole Dracula story came from then.
Hmm, interesting.
They do tours of his castle and stuff now
Oh,
for like
mm,
Halloween
I would do that.
in a heartbeat.
How would go? How would just be like blah blah blah. Suck my blood. I'm the asshole who would get some demonic shit attached to me.
Mm.
Oh
They have a
God.
lot of theories out there about the spirits and stuff. So
Oh, trust me, we are very well aware of that. You and I both
very
very well
nice.
aware.
It's very
Uh
nice.
oh yeah. Oh, actually, speaking of spirits being attached, what was it? Oh God, who was it? The girl that The Exorcist was based off of, The Exorcism.
So, wasn't it actually based off a boy
I thought
in like St. Louis?
yes.
So my bad. So it was St. Louis, but it's loosely based on the 1949 exorcism of the 14-year-old Maryland boy. They call him Roland Doe or Robbie Mannheim.
Hmm.
So multiple exorcisms in Maryland and St. Louis. But it's the Ouija board and all that stuff is what they're saying is possible to the real story. Um, it was over months though. Like the rites and the exorcism was over a while. It wasn't just like that one time, like in the movie.
Here it is. Uh, Anna Elizabeth Michael, or Annalise. September,
Oh, now that one, I've heard about that one too.
yeah, 1952. She lived from September 21st, 1952 to July 1st, 1976. According to history, she underwent 67 Catholic exorcism rites. During the
Mhm.
year before her death, she died of malnutrition, for which her parents and the priest who performed the exorcism were convicted of negligent homicide. She was
Mhm.
diagnosed with epileptic psychosis, temporal lobe epilepsy, and manic depression and bipolar disorder, and had a history of psychiatric treatment that proved ineffective. Now, here's the thing with like exorcisms, right? So, like speaking on spirits, right? So just hear me out for like 10 seconds.
Mhm.
Speaking on
Sure.
spirits, I believe a spirit can attach itself to you 100%. If you read a book that has anything to do with demonic spiritualism or demonic rituals, 100%. If you give it the power, yes. But I don't I don't know how strong a spirit can feed off your energy for it to do a full body takeover or a full
Mhm.
mind takeover. I wonder
Mhm.
if some of that is a psychosis of like a self psychosis. Like you feel strange or you feel off. Like, yeah, you can sense a spirit, but I wonder the more you think on it, the more you trick yourself into that psychosis state,
Mhm.
like the exorcism of Annalise, right? So
Right.
I wonder, you know what I mean? Like, I guess it's not a conspiracy theory, but I guess it can be, right? Like, so how true to life is an actual exorcism?
I don't know. I mean, I've never experienced one, right? But I have taken care of a lot of schizophrenic patients and multiple patients in my history of caring for this population have told me about the ghosts that are around them at all times.
Hmm,
And,
interesting.
they teach us to reorient the patient so that they, tell them that it's not there, or you don't see anything, or what have you. But I'm telling you, these people fully believed that there was spirits there with them.
Right.
So the
Hmm,
mind is a crazy thing, the whole mind over matter thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But the Warrens, right?
right.
And Lorraine Warren, they two of their most famous cases had to do with possessions and crimes committed while under the influence of these spirits. They actually won a court case with one of them.
Oh, and
So,
the Annabelle doll. The Annabelle doll is possessed. Forgot about that. The
yeah.
original Annabelle doll. Oh,
The
and Robert the
OG,
doll.
yes. Yes,
And
Robert the
Robert the
doll.
doll. Robert, he's possessed. Um, what's another
So,
like?
I mean,
Go
do you full on believe demons, like angels, demons, all that stuff?
I mean, I 100% believe in demons and angels, and you know, I eh, dabbling in what I've dabbled in. You know, I haven't been the safest, right? I've been a little reckless and stupid. Um, but I've definitely, I wouldn't say fully encountered a demonic entity, but I have felt and seen like demon like energy, right?
Gotcha.
So that's kind of how like that's the best way I can explain it.
Mhm. See, I don't believe in demons as in like from the devil because I don't believe in the devil, right? So
Right.
I do believe in negative entities or negative energy, right? Like nasty, negative, evil energy. I believe that people have the ability to have that energy in them when they're alive. So why would they not be able to be evil when they're not here, right? And then I
Right.
also believe in the land having you know, the spirit of the land, I guess you could say. So elementals, what have you. Um, that can be positive, it could be negative, it could be all that. But as in like the demons from hell, I just don't, that's not my thing. So, but possessions, I do think people can be overtaken by
Right.
whatever it might be.
Well, so
You
take for
know,
instance, um, actually, let's go back in history, in our history, like
mhm,
yours and mine, the
right.
years that we've known each other. So, do you remember? Let's see, it has been many years ago.
You're talking about
Um,
the book?
the book. Wow, you
Mhm.
read my mind. Stay out of my head, you witch. uh, which? No, kidding.
Guilty.
Yeah, I am too. Okay, so you remember the book, right?
Mhm,
The book was in a mutual friend of ours' possession, and the
mhm.
mutual friend decided to read said book. Now, of course, like you said, you read a book and you give it you give power to the words. There are things that can
Right.
conjure themselves. 100%.
Sure.
Do you think that the reading of the book, right, when they read it, and I'm not
Mhm.
elaborating to who it
Right.
is.
We can't give too much detail either.
We can't. But do you think of the events that followed was of a demonic nature?
No, I don't.
No. Okay.
Mm-mm. I don't. I believe that the unfortunate things that happened after were just that. And I know that people say there's no such thing as coincidences, right? But
Right.
I do think that there was some communication that had happened from the other side. I do believe that, and I believe the person that saw the things that they saw. But was it caused from reading the book? I don't believe that. I've read the book. I still have the
Right.
book, right?
Right.
So, um and I'm pretty fast and loose with some things, like, I don't do protections, and I just do what I'm gonna do, right? So, I'm not, like, protecting myself before I read specific things or do specific things.
Right.
So, I just think that the situation was unfortunate.
I agree.
Was it definitely something from the other realm? Absolutely. But I don't think it was caused by the book. I think that the book could have caused the mental state that occurred,
Right.
but once the book was gone, and because the person believed that the book may have contributed to certain things, then once the book was removed, of course, that relief and the healing could begin, right?
Right.
That's
So
what I
it
think.
changed. Yeah, it changed their level of psychosis almost.
Right. Which everything that happened could absolutely throw you into a state of altered reality.
Right. Not a delusion, but more along
No.
the lines of yeah, like you said, an altered state of reality
Right.
where you've
They're not
given
crazy,
something. You're
right?
not crazy. You've given something power
Right.
because you wanted to know its power. You wanted to
Right.
know the influence of
And
what
emotions, right?
yeah, what's on the other realm.
Emotions. I mean, they say that poltergeist activity is not actually ghosts, right? They say that our energy is what causes, that's the new theory, right? Our energy
Mhm.
is what causes this activity. It's not actually a ghost, it's us
Right,
causing the activity. So think of it in that way, like everything that happened to that poor situation, right?
right.
So much energy poured into the situation. Just right. So,
Yeah, no, and that's just one thing, that's not necessarily a conspiracy theory, but that's just something I wanted to touch base on because, it kinda ties in to a theory, but not a conspiracy, but it ties into a theory of,
mhm.
well, and actually those who don't believe in what you and I believe in,
Mhm.
they could call it a conspiracy theory,
Right.
you know? Absolutely, 100%. And so it's very it's conspiracy theory adjacent, right? So it's very adjacent to kind of the whole full circle of conspiracy
Right.
theories.
Well, let me add this to it. My amazing husband, he does not believe that ghosts are ghosts, like the spirits of people that have passed, right? He
Mhm,
believes and he does believe in ghosts, but he
mhm,
thinks that we are like we're going back to that whole time shift or other dimension shift. Like it's a point in time where that world meets up perfectly with this world and we
mhm,
get to see a glimpse of the other world because of the way it's lined up. So ghosts aren't really ghosts. They're actually people living in that other dimension, doing the things that they do. We just
hmm,
happen to be overlapping at that time because they say that the worlds are, identical but different, right? So
right.
we're overlapping or even like at a different time. That's what
Huh,
he believes. So when I take
interesting.
him to the houses that are haunted and we go investigate and we do all that stuff, he just thinks that, well, we're just glimpsing like an overlap.
Right.
But that doesn't explain the intelligent hauntings. So he doesn't have an answer for that.
Hmm,
He also,
interesting.
he also has beliefs that are very much like the Scientologists when it comes to his religion. So it's very
Mhm,
interesting.
it is, that does sound actually really interesting. But on that note, this has been a very interesting episode. Sorry to end on a somber note, but yeah, no, for all of you that are listening and everything, and just kind of tuning in, right? Just know that our conspiracy hats are full tinfoil antenna hats. We
Yes.
we 100% metaphorically wear them. Um, but yes,
My poor family and friends are gonna be like, "Oh my gosh."
do we know them anymore? um, you know, but yes, so yet again, folks, thank you again for listening to an amazing episode of his Skeleton Key Turns. Of course, I am Gray, joined by the lovely Christina, as always. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode. If you have conspiracy theories that we didn't touch on, or you have your own conspiracy theory that isn't like known, and like you're, like going, I know this is a conspiracy theory, then please let us know on Facebook. Comment under the next recent post that we do, or we'll, just comment on our wall, just something to engage with us, right? We're not telling you all don't engage. Please engage with us. We would love engagement,
Yes,
every single
please.
time. And TikTok too, please. If you hear, our audio on TikTok, in a short little picture video that Christina makes, and you want to make like a, what do they call that? Uh
A
not a
duet?
splits. Yeah, a duet. Thank you. A
Mm.
duet and like go over something. Absolutely, 100%. We would love that. And to all you ghost hunters out there and other conspiracy theorists, please, please talk with us. We absolutely enjoy making this show, and of course, we're just starting up. We got many more things planned for the future. We've got all kinds of stuff. We got places that we got to go in the next few years, months, hopefully, that we have to, plan accordingly. And hopefully, if you all are down and you want to meet up with us, you absolutely can. Just know that protection salt is a needed thing, and so is sage. It's
For some
very well
people.
needed for some people. Others, you can bring rosaries, crosses, anything that you feel that could protect you from what is over the veil when it thins and gets thinner and thinner. But on that note, yet again, thank you again for listening to us, Skeleton Key Turns. Please don't forget to go to our popular social medias, you know, add us, whatever you want to do. And we hope that you enjoy the show for many, 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 many years to come. Um, and thank you again for listening. Have a wonderful, excellent night. Bye bye.